Today took a lot out of me, not in a dramatic way. There was no big disaster. It was just the kind of day where your brain never fully rests. Small responsibilities, small pressures, a few awkward moments, a few things that just didn't go as planned. By the time I got home, I didn't feel inspired. I felt empty. I stood in front of my kitchen and had that familiar thought, I, Dan T, have the energy for this. And what I really meant was, I don't have the energy to keep being a person. Because that's what adulthood can feel like sometimes, like you. You're constantly maintaining the basics of a life. And nobody gives you a break from needing food, needing laundry, needing strength. For a few minutes, I considered skipping dinner. Not because I wanted to punish myself, but just because I wanted to stop doing things. But then I remembered something I'm trying to learn. When you're tired, your life gets smaller. I didn't need a perfect meal. I didn't need to try a new recipe or eat clean or impress anyone. I just needed warmth. I needed something that said, I'm still here. So I chose the simplest thing I could make. Nothing fancy, just ingredients that felt like comfort. And as I started, I noticed something. Cooking forced me to slow down. It's not the kind of slow that feels lazy, but the kind of slow that feels like you're returning to yourself. I washed my hands. I rinsed what needed to be rinsed. I cut things carefully, not because I'm a great cook, but because my body needed something steady to do. There's something honest about cooking when you're tired. You can't pretend you're not hungry. You can't scroll your way out of needing to be cared for. You just stand there in your real life, and you make something with your hands. As the food started to heat up, the smell changed the room. That's the part I love the most. Not even the taste the moment the room begins to feel lived in again. The warmth. The quiet sound of something cooking. The sense that time is moving forward in a gentle way. And while I waited, I thought about the kind of tired I've been feeling lately. Not just sleepy, a deeper kind of tired. The tired that comes from trying to hold everything together. It's trying to be okay. Trying to stay strong and act normal when you feel a little lost. We don't always talk about that kind of tired, because it sounds like complaining, but it's real. It's when it's real, you don't need a lecture, you need care. Tonight, cooking became that care. Not because it fixed anything, but because it was a small act of respect. It was me saying, I might be tired, but I still deserve to eat. I might feel behind. I still deserve warmth. I might not have energy for big things, but I can still do one small thing for myself. When the food was ready, I sat down to eat. I didn't eat fast. I didn't multitask. I didn't turn it into another chore. I just took a bite and felt my shoulders drop a little. That's another thing I'm learning. Sometimes we think we need motivation to take care of ourselves. But often, taking care of ourselves is what creates motivation. The warmth in your stomach becomes warmth in your mind. After I ate, the day didn't disappear. My problems didn't magically solve themselves, but the world felt less harsh. And I realized something simple. Many of our hardest days don't need big solutions. They need small rituals, a meal, a shower, a clean cup, a made bed, a light turned on in a dark room. Small things that remind you, I'm still living, I'm still capable, I'm still here. If you're watching this after a long day and you feel like you just can't do anything, try not to ask yourself for something big. Ask yourself for something kind. What is the smallest, warmest thing you can do for yourself tonight? It might be cooking something simple. It might be eating something that's already made. It might just be drinking some water and sitting quietly for 1 minute. It doesn't have to be impressive to count. Tonight I cooked after a long day, not because I had energy, but because I needed care. And that's the real story. Sometimes you don't cook to be productive. Sometimes you cook just to come back to yourself. Thanks for being here with me.